Valley High School academics. With your host, Tim Smith. Today, South Texas High School for Health Professions and Harlingen South High School match wits in their quest to become this year's Masterminds champion.
Welcome into our Channel 5 studios. I'm Joel Villanueva in for Tim Smith today, and we have another exciting edition of Masterminds right here on Channel 5. We have two great schools with us today. Their fans are here. The excitement is in the air, so let's play this Masterminds game. We began with 10 questions off the top. We begin with a math question for both teams here. What is 50% of 2,648? Harlingen South.
10,300 103024.
That is incorrect. Once again, the question is, what is 50% of 2,648?
1,324.
That is correct for Med High. Spell perspicacious, excuse me, perspicacious. Med High.
Perspicacious. Perspicacious.
That is correct, Med High. Next question, another math one. Factor 6x squared minus 15x minus 9. Time's up. The answer is 6x plus 3 times x minus 3. Question number 4. Give the Arabic numeral for the Roman numeral MDL. Time. The answer is 1550. The maple sugar tree is the state tree of 4 states. Name one of them. Med High.
Vermont.
That is correct. What body of water did Charles Blondin cross in a tightrope in 1855 and 1860? Harlingen South.
Niagara Falls.
That's correct. Which vitamin is essential for the conversion of calcium and phosphorus into bone substances? Med High.
Vitamin B.
That's incorrect. Can you repeat the question?
What vitamin is essential for the conversion of calcium and phosphorus into bone substances? Sal?
Vitamin D.
That's correct, Alberto. Question number 8. Of Polaris, the moon, and the asteroids, which is not included in our solar system?
Polaris.
That's correct. Name the literary work or the character who utters, "How I really did murder Mozart with arsenic out of envy." South?
Amadeus.
Judges? That's correct. When General Douglas MacArthur said, "I shall return," he meant to what place? South.
The Pacific.
No. Met High?
Europe.
That's incorrect. The answer is Philippine Islands. That ends our first round here on Masterminds. We have Med High on top 40-30 after 10 questions. Let's meet our judges today from the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. In the studio with us, we have Dr. Megan Burke, the Associate Professor of History and a Graduate Coordinator in the College of Liberal Arts. We also want to welcome to our Channel 5 studios Dr. Noreen Rivera, an Assistant Professor with the Department of Literatures and Cultural Studies. Thank you for your time, doctors. Let's hear it for them.
Masterminds is supported in part by NavyArmy Community Credit Union.
And now we'll introduce our teams here in our studios. Let's begin with Harlingen South. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Albert Alvarez. I play baseball, and in the fall I plan to continue my studies in engineering.
My name is Colin Galloon. I'm the parliamentarian of FBLA and NHS and am an amateur filmmaker.
Hi, I'm Erica Hernandez, and I'm class president, and I'm planning on majoring in psychology and neuroscience at Dartmouth College.
All right, thank you very much. The Hawks from Harlingen South here in our Mastermind studios. We begin with our Hot Topics round now. We're going to give you 3 questions. These questions only for Harlingen South. You do not need a buzzer. And we start with our first question. What cell phone maker is being taken to court in several countries amid charges they deliberately slowed down their phones?
Apple.
That's correct, a resounding apple. What comedian surprised SNL audiences by appearing as former White House strategist Steve Bannon?
Bill Murray.
That's correct. And our final hot topic question, security concerns are overshadowing the visit by Pope Francis to which continent?
South America.
That is correct. So Harlingen South with 3 topics correct, 3 questions answered correctly in our hot topics round. Now let's meet the team from Med High in our Channel 5 studios today. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourselves.
My name is Mikhail Sanchez, and I am part of Masterminds. Obviously, I'm also participate in submit to Ink Art literary magazine, and also am a Wikipedia editor.
Hello, my name is Michelle Campbell. I am currently part of, obviously, Masterminds, NHS, NTHS, the Stock Market Club, and I plan on studying pathology.
Hi, my name is Amit, and I'm a senior, and I'm currently in NHS, NTHS, HOSA, and I'm also head coach of the debate club.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's hear it from Med High as they compete today's Masterminds. Now, these 3 hot topics questions will be for you, Med High. And remember, you do not need your buzzers for these questions. These are only for Med High. Our first question, who did David Letterman interview in his debut of a new show, Our Next Guest Needs No Introduction?
Barack Obama.
That is correct. This year's flu season appears to be peaking, with flu now widespread in all but one state. Which state does not have a widespread flu outbreak?
Alaska?
That's incorrect. The answer was Hawaii. Walmart recently announced they would increase their starting wage to how much per hour?
$11 per hour.
That is correct. That ends our Hot Topics round with an even game. Med High with 60 points, Harlingen South with 60 points. More Masterminds funds coming up right here on Channel 5. Stay with us. Hey, welcome back. Before there was Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, there was Masterminds right here in the Valley. We got a great game going today between Med High and Harlingen South, each team with 60 points so far. Let's take some time to meet some of the wonderful volunteers who help these teams throughout the season. We start with Harlingen South.
This is our Masterminds coordinator, Mr. Everett, and he is also an AP English teacher at Harlingen South.
Now let's hear from Med High.
This is Mr. Pemberton. He is the geometry teacher at Med High, and he also coaches the chess club.
All right, thank you, Med High and Harlingen South, and thank you to the coordinators for all the time you guys spend with these students throughout the school year. Let's move on to our Masterminds game, and now we have our quick picks round. We're going to give you 20 questions. These questions for both teams, and each of them will be worth 5 points. We start with our first picture, 10 points per question. Until Pete Rose came along, this was the guy who held the Major League record for most hits in a career. Who is he?
Babe Ruth?
No, incorrect.
Ty Cobb.
That's correct. This is a cornet. It is much like the trumpet. While both have been around for a long time, in the 19th century, the cornet was the first to add what to make it more melodic? Med High?
Valves?
That's correct. In what country will you find this flag flying? South?
Turkey?
Med High. Turkey, that's correct. This is the site of the first battle in the Civil War. Where was it? South.
Fort Sumter.
That's correct. Coming from Harlingen South. The name of this dog breed comes from an old English word meaning playful little devil or monkey. What is this breed of dog? Med High.
A pug.
That's correct. Buckingham Palace has been the official British royal residence since 1837. Who was the monarch in 1837? South?
Queen Victoria.
That's correct. This is a poster from the 1930s that was the project of President Roosevelt's WPA. What do the initials WPA stand for? Sal?
Workers Protection Agency.
That's incorrect now. Med High, you have an answer.
No, pass.
All right, time's up. When Catherine Lee Bates, the answer was Works Progress Administration, by the way, for those wondering. Our next question, when Catherine Lee Bates first saw this mountain, she was inspired to write about the Purple Mountain's majesty in her poem, America the Beautiful. What is this part of the Rocky Mountain Range called? Med High?
The Smoky Mountains.
That's incorrect, though. Okay, when Catherine Lee Bates first saw this mountain, she was inspired to write about the Purple Mountain's majesty in her poem, America the Beautiful. What is this part of the Rocky Mountain Range called? All right, time's up. The answer is Pikes Peak. What color does a polar bear's coat turn as it gets older? Med High?
Yellow?
That's correct. He was the last president of the U.S. to be a member of the Whig Party. Who is he? Med High?
Millard Fillmore.
That is correct. That concludes our quick picks round. Our score after that, it is Med High with 110,
NavyArmy
Harlingen South
Community
with
Credit
90.
Union.
Now we move. 3 different envelopes, and we're going to start with Harlingen South. They will have the first option to choose which envelope they're going to have questions from in our grab bag round. So South, what is your pick?
3.
Okay, Harlingen South going with envelope number 3. These questions are just for Harlingen South. Okay, fill in the blank. Andy Warhol's rendering of blank brought $4 million at an auction in 1989.
Marilyn Monroe.
That's correct. The largest herd of blank in the world heads each summer to the Pribilofs to breed.
Pass.
Okay. A string blank usually consists of 2 violins, 2 violas, and a cello.
Quintet.
That's correct. When Black Bart robbed a blank, he'd order the driver to throw down the box.
Stagecoach.
That's correct. Protagoras said there are blank sides to any question.
2.
That's correct. Thoreau said any man more right than his neighbors constitutes a majority of blank.
Liars.
No. At the feet of the Statue of Liberty is a broken blank.
Tablet.
No. Teaching practices, and that's time up. Okay, let's go back to our questions there. Thoreau said any man more right than his neighbors constitutes a majority of blank. The answer was 1. And then our other question, at the feet of the Statue of Liberty is a broken blank. The answer was chain. Okay, so Harlingen South now with 110 points. We have 2 more envelopes for Med High that will pick one of them for us now. Okay, they're going to go with number 2. Here we go. Once again, these questions just for Med High. We start with crime. It's going to be the theme here. What agency examines a record of 600,000 pieces of criminal evidence yearly?
Pass.
F.
Okay. Name any 2 of the 4 violent crimes recorded by the FBI's crime index.
Murder.
We need 2 of the 4.
Pass.
Okay. What word often precedes assault or rape to describe a serious offense?
Assault.
That's incorrect. What word derived from forum means the scientific techniques of solving crimes?
Forensics.
That's correct. What crime is the unauthorized duplication of any object with the intent to defraud?
Counterfeit.
That's correct. Most arrests made in the U.S. are for what common offense?
Drug possession.
That's incorrect. Legally, a suspect is not considered a criminal until what happens?
Until he's guilty.
Till proven guilty.
Judges?
Oh.
No, that's incorrect. All right, the questions we got wrong on this round. What word often precedes assault or rape to describe a serious offense? The answer is aggravated. Another question, most arrests made in the U.S. are for what common offense? The answer was traffic violations or DWI. And the other question was legally a suspect is not considered a criminal until what happens? The answer was he is convicted by a judge or jury. Okay, that brings into our grab bag round. And we have, it was almost the end of our grab bag round. We have one more, of course, envelope. So these will be for both teams. Now you guys have to ring your buzzers, and we'll take the first one who rings in. Hats. I will describe the hat, and you name it. We start with our first question. A tight-fitting Scottish hat, sometimes with a pom-pom in the center. Okay, time's up. This is a small, relatively close-fitting woolen cap often worn in France. That's correct.
Yeah.
A wide-brimmed straw or felt hat worn generally in Mexico. Medhai?
Sombrero.
That's right. The hat Fred Astaire wears when he dances in tails. Medhai?
Cat in the Hat?
No. South? Okay, time. The answer is top hat. A hat now seen on members of barbershop quartets and sometimes Dixieland bands. South?
Bowler hat?
No. Medhai? Okay, time's up. The answer is straw hat or boater. In the East, a cloth covering wrapped around a man's head. Medhai?
Turban.
That's correct. George Washington and Paul Revere often wore what hat? South?
Skin hat cap?
No. Medhai?
Tri-point hat.
That's correct. All right, now that brings an end to our grab bag round. We have, with 160 points, Med-High, Harlingen South with 110. More Masterminds right after this on Channel 5. Welcome back to Masterminds on Channel 5. A great game brewing today between Med-High and Harlingen South. With our next round coming up, we have Med-High on top 160 to 110. And next up, we will talk about our Fine Arts round. This one all about art and music. We begin with our art portion, and these questions are for both teams. Take a look at this picture and name that art piece. Med-High?
Lady in her seat.
That's incorrect, no. South?
Portrait of a woman.
That's incorrect. That was Woman in Black by Mary Cassatt. I want to remind you, you can name the work of art or the artist for these. Okay, here's our next picture, Med-High.
Claude Monet.
That is correct. Now we'll move on to the music portion of our Fine Arts round. Listen to this piece of music and give me the name of the song or the composer. Okay, this was a song from another Masterminds game, so that was incorrect. We're going to pass that. We're going to go to the next piece of music. Do we have that? Let's hear the next piece of music. Our apologies for that. Do we not have that at the moment? Okay, time's up. Med-High?
Vivaldi.
No, it's a Neapolitan song by Tchaikovsky. Okay, our Fine Arts round ends with Med-High ahead 180 to 110 on Harlingen South. After the break, we'll have the final stretch as this edition of Masterminds wraps up right here on Channel 5. This Masterminds game is just about over, but we do have one final round. It's called the final stretch. Med High on top with 180. Harlingen South trailing with 110 points. All of these questions worth 10 points. Both teams get ready to buzz in here if you know the answer. We begin with our first question. The hippopotamuses of Nubia, the lions of Mesopotamia, the elephants of North Africa. All of these creatures were eventually wiped out due to the entertainment whims of what ancient nation? Med High. That's correct. Newspaperman John O'Sullivan's opinion that the U.S. was foreordained to expand westward to the Pacific came to be known by what phrase?
Manifest destiny.
That's correct. What is the cube root of the reciprocal of 8? What is the cube root? South?
1/2.
That's correct. What would have been the lead story in a yearbook published in 1350? Time up. The answer is bubonic plague or Black Death, which killed millions. Shrimp-like organisms plentiful in polar regions are called what? Krill. That's correct. Alexander Graham Bell developed an electrical apparatus. South?
The telephone.
The telegram?
No. In what Latin American city is the Plaza of the Three Cultures? Med High?
Caracas?
No.
Panama.
No. What relation between a galaxy's distance from the Earth and its movement did Edwin Hubble discover? Med High?
Redshift.
No. South? Okay, and one next question. Which painter found by accident that a direct positive image could be made on a silver plate? Time? Discovered by Columbus and settled by Spain, Jamaica was captured by what country in 1655? Med High?
England.
That's correct. What was the rank of World War II opponents Bernard Montgomery and Erwin Rommel? Med High?
Brigadier General?
No. South?
Captain.
No, the answer was Field Marshal. If you put baking soda in the bottom of a glass, add vinegar, and cover the top of the glass, what invisible gas will be released? Med High?
Carbon dioxide?
That's correct. If the sum of the edges of a cube is 120 inches, what is the area of one face of the cube? Med High?
20.
No, it's incorrect. South, do you have an answer? All right, time's up. The answer is 100 square inches. A fever blister that occurs at the corner of one's mouth is commonly called what? South?
Herpes.
No. Med High?
Canker sore?
That's correct. That's correct. To the nearest integer, find the area of a 30-degree sector of a circle with a diameter of 12 yards. Time's up. The answer is 9 square yards. Ralph Vaughan Williams' Sinfonia Antarctica contains quotes from which explorers' journals? Time? South?
De Leon.
No. The answer was Robert Scott. Name the two positions played in a defensive backfield in field hockey or an offensive backfield in football. Med High?
Quarterback?
No. We're looking for two positions in the defensive backfield in field hockey or an offensive backfield in football. South?
Running back.
No. The answers were halfback and fullback. We were looking for two positions. And that ends today's Masterminds game on Channel 5. At the end of this game, it is Med High with 230 points, Harlingen South with 130 points. So Med High will be moving on to the next round. I'd like to thank Med High, Harlingen South, their fans here today, as well as our professors from staff from University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. Thank you all for being here with us as we conclude another edition of Masterminds. We'll see you next time right here on Channel 5.